History is full of anomalies, artifacts, and structures that seems impossible. In this episode, we're diving into 5 more interesting, out-of-place artifacts. The Tisul Princess. In 1969, coal miners in Tisul, Siberia, allegedly unearthed a sealed stone sarcophagus deep underground. Inside was a perfectly preserved young woman submerged in a mysterious pinkish liquid. The discovery, if true, defies conventional historical timelines, as the layer of rocks surrounding the sarcophagus was dated back to 800 million years ago. The woman had delicate features, fine clothing, and intricate jewelry. Some researchers speculate she belonged to an ancient civilization or even had extraterrestrial origins. No official records confirms the discovery, which further fuels conspiracy theories. So how did a modern-looking woman end up encased in rock dated to prehistoric times? Reports claim that Soviet authorities quickly seized the sarcophagus, silencing any further investigation. Villagers who had witnessed the discovery were allegedly warned to remain quiet, fueling speculation that the find was deemed too disruptive to accepted history. The absence of official records only deepens the mystery, leaving us with conflicting testimonies and questions about what really happened in Tisul that day. What makes this case so puzzling is the level of preservation. The woman's features were described as lifelike, her clothing delicate and unfamiliar, and the pinkish liquid within the sarcophagus seemed to prevent decay entirely. How could such a body remain untouched by time for 800 million years? This kind of preservation will require technology or knowledge far beyond what we attribute to ancient civilizations. Additionally, there are no known human fossils anywhere near that age. The possibility that civilization capable of advanced preservation methods existed before humanity challenges everything we understand about history. Some theories suggest that this could be proof of pre-human intelligent life or lost knowledge that has been erased from historical records. But again, no scientific documentation or physical proof exists. The entire account relies on unverified witness testimonies and Soviet-era newspaper reports. So for now, all we have are the stories and myths of the Tisul Princess. The Lady of Elche. Discovered in 1897 near Elche, Spain, the Lady of Elche is a striking limestone bust with a mysterious past. This ancient artifact, believed to be from the 4th or 5th century BCE, represents an Iberian woman adorned with an elaborate headdress and intricate jewelry. Its origins, purpose, and the civilization behind it remains debated. The bust was unearthed by chance on August 4, 1897. Given its extraordinary preservation and intricate craftsmanship, many question how such an artifact could have remained hidden for centuries without any prior documentation or references in historical text. Adding to the mystery, shortly after its discovery, the bust was sold to France and housed in the Louvre Museum until 1941, when it was returned to Spain. Some historians argue that its sudden appearance, high level of detail, and lack of similar Iberian artifacts raise suspicions about its authenticity. Could it have been created much longer than believed, or is it a genuine relic of an advanced, long-lost Iberian civilization? The Lady of Elche is often classified as an out-of-place artifact due to its level of detail and artistic complexity, which appears far more advanced than what was commonly attributed to Iberian societies of that period. The symmetrical precision, elaborate hairstyle, and hollowed interior suggest an unknown function, possibly for holding offerings or even as a funerary urn. Skeptics argue that without additional artifacts of similar craftsmanship, the Lady of Elche stands as an anomaly rather than definitive proof of an advanced Iberian culture. However, its very existence challenges the conventional understanding of early European civilizations and their artistic capabilities. The mysterious stone eggs of China. Deep in the remote mountains of China, an unusual geological phenomenon has puzzled scientists and locals alike. These smooth, oval-shaped rocks appear to grow from cliffs and fall to the ground at regular intervals. Found primarily in the Guizhou province, these formations defy conventional geological explanations and have sparked speculation about their origins and purpose. The stone eggs were first documented by Chinese villagers who noticed the peculiar way they seemed to emerge from the mountainside over time. Known as the Chandaya, or egg-producing cliffs, These rocks range in size from small pebbles to boulders and take centuries to form. Despite their geological classifications as concretions, which are mineral deposits that hardens over time, the perfectly smooth, egg-like shape defies the typical shapes that stones form from concretions. What makes them particularly mysterious is the way they detach from the cliffs at seemingly predictable intervals. Unlike typical erosion, which breaks rock formations into irregular fragments, these stone eggs maintain a uniform shape and appear to grow before falling off. This process has led to speculation that unknown natural forces or even ancient human intervention may be responsible. Theories attempting to explain their formation suggest that the unique mineral compositions of the cliff, combined with thousands of years of environmental conditions, allows these perfectly rounded stones to emerge. However, their uniform shape and measured detachment from the cliffside remains difficult to fully explain. Some believe that ancient civilizations may have had knowledge of geological processes that modern science has yet to uncover. Others point to the possibility of unknown biological or geological interactions that mimic natural reproductive cycles in living organisms, given that similar formations have been found in other parts of the world. Though not to the same extent, it raises questions about whether these occurrences share a common yet undiscovered scientific principle. Despite scientific studies attempting to rationalize the phenomenon, the stone eggs remain an anomaly, an unexplained curiosity in the realm of natural science. Their presence in a remote and historically rich part of China only adds to the mystery. Ubirr. Deep in the heart of Australia's Kakadu National Park lies one of the world's most astonishing collections of ancient rock art, Ubirr. Dating back over 40,000 years, these intricate paintings depict animals, spirits, and even mysterious humanoid figures. But what makes Ubirr's rock art particularly intriguing is not just its age, but the mysterious nature of some of its depictions. The indigenous rock art of Ubirr has been known to Aboriginal Australians for millennia, forming a key part of their oral traditions and cultural identity. However, it wasn't until European explorers arrived in the late 19th century that the wider world began to take notice of these breathtaking depictions. Among the most striking elements of Ubirr's rock art are the detailed illustrations of animals, including fish, kangaroos, and turtles, drawn with remarkable anatomical precision. Even more intriguing are the X-ray style paintings, where the internal organs and skeletal structures of animals are depicted, a technique that seems to hint at an advanced understanding of biology. But perhaps the most mysterious images are those of the so-called Mimi spirits, and strange humanoid figures. These elongated, almost alien-like beings are often shown interacting with humans, leading some researchers to speculate about their origins. Ubirr's rock art raises compelling questions about early human civilization. The level of detail, the striking resemblance to modern anatomical drawings, and the unusual humanoid figures suggests that these ancient artists may have possessed knowledge far beyond what was previously thought possible. Some researchers argue that the Mimi spirits could be based on real encounters, possibly with an unknown ancient culture or even something more extraordinary. What adds to the mystery is the apparent continuity of the artwork over thousands of years. Some paintings were layered over older ones, indicating that the site remains significant to different groups of people over vast periods. This suggests an unbroken transmission of knowledge, belief, and traditions, something rarely seen in prehistoric art to this extent. The Mimi spirits, with their elongated limbs and seemingly otherworldly characteristics, have been linked to ancient astronaut theories. Could these figures be depictions of visitors far beyond our world, or do they simply reflect the rich mythology of the Aboriginal Dreamtime? The Stonehenge Cursus. The Stonehenge is one of the most well-known prehistoric monuments in the world, but few have heard of the Stonehenge Cursus, an ancient earthwork running parallel to the famous stone circle. Stretching a little under 2 miles in length, this elongated structure predates Stonehenge itself and remains one of the greatest archaeological mysteries in Britain. First identified in the 18th century and excavated in the 20th, the Stonehenge Cursus has baffled researchers due to its sheer scale and unclear function. Unlike the stone circle, which has long been associated with astronomical alignments and rituals, the Cursus lacks definitive evidence of its purpose. The term Cursus, meaning racecourse, was coined by early archaeologists who believe it might have been used for chariot races, though no supporting evidence has been found. What makes the Cursus particularly mysterious is its precise alignment with solar movements. Much like Stonehenge itself, the Cursus appears to have been constructed with a clear understanding of celestial mechanics, suggesting that Neolithic people had advanced knowledge of astronomy long before such expertise was thought to exist. However, unlike other Neolithic structures, the Stonehenge Cursus lacks the immediate practicality of a burial site, dwelling, or temple. Instead, it appears to serve a purely symbolic or ritualistic purpose, which is unusual for its time. Even more puzzling is the similarity it shares with later Roman and medieval ceremonial processional paths, despite being thousands of years old. Some researchers have suggested that the Cursus could have been a sacred boundary or processional way, guiding ancient rituals. Others argue that it could be linked to sky burials or even an early attempt at geomantic mapping, an early form of landscape alignments for spiritual purposes. Some have drawn comparisons between the layout of the Cursus and modern satellite paths, as well as other mysterious ancient sites that seem to align with celestial bodies. The idea that ancient civilizations may have built structures mimicking planetary orbits or satellite trajectories remains highly controversial but intriguing. Could the builders of the Cursus have been attempting to replicate something they observed in the sky, just as modern engineers design spaceports and satellite tracking systems? This raises an even more fascinating question. Did ancient people construct the Cursus based on knowledge lost to history, or were they attempting to mimic something beyond their understanding? The precision of its alignments and sheer effort required to build such a structure suggests a purpose far beyond mere superstition. Are these relics of forgotten civilizations, natural oddities, or something even more mysterious? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Late Night Top 5 for more deep dives into the unknown.